The history books told us the Cold War was over. They were wrong. What we are living through now is not a simple thaw or even a deep freeze, but a complex, strategic confrontation that is resetting the global order. This isn't the dramatic clash of superpowers past, but a quiet, high-stakes game played in the shadows, on screen, and in the forgotten corners of the world. The relationship between Washington and the Kremlin is defined by an absolute lack of trust, a deep-seated suspicion that has fractured the diplomatic channels and replaced them with a dangerous certainty. Each side believes the other is fundamentally committed to its decline. This is the new great game, and the prize is nothing less than the future shape of world power. At the epicenter of this struggle is the war in Ukraine. It has become the definitive lens through which every US-Russia interaction is now viewed. In the fall of 2025, the fighting has devolved into a grueling war of attrition. Russia is digging in, calculating that the West's collective political will is finite. Washington, meanwhile, is grappling with the difficult balance of sustained, large-scale aid against the red lines of direct involvement. The deployment, or even the promise, of long-range, offensive weapon systems is a constant, explosive pressure point. It is a slow, methodical poker game where the stakes for misreading a bluff are catastrophic. Every delivery of a new drone, every approval of a new aid package, is a diplomatic body blow and a calculated military escalation. The most chilling aspect of the current climate is not what they are doing, but what they are not doing. The diplomatic infrastructure that prevented past crises from boiling over is collapsing. The reciprocal expulsion of diplomats, the shuttering of consulates, these are not mere political stunts. They are the destruction of the very communication lines designed to manage a crisis. Furthermore, the historic, painstaking work of arms control is grinding to a halt. Treaties that took decades to negotiate are being allowed to expire or are suspended by mutual accusation. This breakdown means less transparency, more guesswork, and a return to the dangerous era of unconstrained competition in nuclear weaponry. When the two largest nuclear powers stop talking about the rules of the road, the entire world is put on notice. But the most active battlefield is entirely invisible, the digital domain. Cyber warfare is the preferred weapon of this new conflict, anonymous, deniable, and devastating. Russia's capabilities in this area are designed to sow chaos and erode faith in Western institutions. We are talking about attacks on critical infrastructure power grids, banking systems, election networks. For the U.S., defending against these persistent, sophisticated incursions has become a top-tier national security priority. It's a perpetual, low-level conflict where a virus or a data breach can achieve what a battalion of tanks once could. The chilling reality is that we may never know the true extent of the damage or the daily intrusions. Only the resulting instability look up. Space is no longer a peaceful frontier. It is the ultimate military high ground and the new area of immediate strategic competition. Both nations recognize that domination in a future conflict depends on controlling orbital assets. This has led to the development of what are known as counter-space weapons tools designed not for defense, but to blind, jam, or outright destroy the other side's satellites. Losing a satellite means losing global communication, missile warning, and the ability to coordinate forces. The risk of an incident, in-orbiter collision, an accidental shot is a new and profoundly escalatory dynamic. When a crisis begins, the first shots may not be fired on Earth, but 1,000 miles above it. The integration of artificial intelligence into military doctrine adds a terrifying new variable: speed. Both the US and Russia are aggressively pursuing AI-enabled warfare. From automated target recognition to drone swarms operating without immediate human command. AI promises greater efficiency, but it also creates a crisis of decision-making. If a conflict breaks out, the decisions made by these systems will occur in milliseconds, far faster than human leaders can process information, consult allies, or order a de-escalation. This AI accelerator fundamentally alters the calculus of risk. It means a small, conventional skirmish could cascade into a full-scale confrontation before diplomats even have a chance to pick up a secure phone line. The contest has moved far beyond the borders of Europe. It is now a global competition for influence. Russia, facing sanctions, is leveraging its remaining strength-cheap energy military sales, and a shared history of anti-Western sentiment to forge new alliances in the global South, particularly in Africa and parts of Latin America. The U.S. sees this as a crucial front in pushing back against a changing world order. This often plays out in a competition over infrastructure, energy deals, and diplomatic votes at the United Nations. The underlying conflict is one of narratives. Russia presents itself as the counterbalance to Western hegemony, while the U.S. attempts to rally support for the existing rules-based international system. Every investment, every new embassy, is a proxy battle for global leadership. Perhaps the most unique and destabilizing feature of the current dynamic is the profound way it has become entangled with domestic U.S. politics. The U.S.-Russia relationship is no longer a bipartisan foreign policy issue. It is a weapon used in internal political battles. This constant political pressure makes any attempt at a coherent, sustained foreign policy immensely difficult. For the Kremlin, this domestic division is a powerful strategic tool, one that feeds into their disinformation campaigns and amplifies the perception of Western weakness. A predictable adversary is manageable. An adversary whose policy shifts with every news cycle and internal political crisis is a far more dangerous problem for the world. So, where does this leave us? We are in an unstable equilibrium, a state of constant low-level tension where the old rules no longer apply and the new ones are being written in real time. The US and Russia are not heading toward cooperation. They are locked into a pattern of managed confrontation that will define the next decade. Success is no longer measured by treaties signed, but by conflicts avoided, and the ability of each side to absorb the political, economic, and cyber strikes of the other. The greatest challenge now is not to defeat the adversary, but to ensure that the inevitable next crisis, whether it's in Ukraine, in orbit, or on the Internet, does not spiral beyond the point of no return. The grand chessboard is in play, and every move counts.